You get in there?
Yes, it's it.
All right, come by. So, this is Aikido Bangkok again. We're in a bar, our favorite Red Hog bar, and there's me and there's Daniel here. Who's been doing Aikido about 6 months. He's going to ask me a couple of questions.
Yeah. So first question is, obviously Budo is a tremendous martial arts, social, cultural study, as well as physical, study. But tell me a little bit about living in Japan and learning Aikido.
Okay, well, I've been doing Aikido for 50 years now. When I was in Japan, COVID, I was 24 when I got there, and I was 36 or so when I left. I moved to Korea. So, yeah, it's a very strange experience. I mean, everything, it's like bizarro Superman comics. Everything is the opposite of what you know. I mean, so the way they talk, the sentence structure is the opposite, of ours. Chinese is like English, but Japanese is the opposite. So you have to learn to speak in an opposite way. They have countless etiquette rules, and manners are super important, and how you bow and how you're my-eye with another person. And the dojo is, it's a non-stop experience. There's no standing around, or you have time to sit, wipe your face, and get back up. And Tokyo is a constantly moving experience. You're always learning, and it's overwhelming a lot of times. So that's what I can say.
So we've talked about your special connection with the family, right? The Shiba family of and Aikido.
Tell me, back your chair up a little bit. It might be able to get us all in a little bit. Hey.
Tattoos having
Tell me about your experience, or what you thought about when you recognized you wanted to move from student to teacher and become a sensei.
Well, I didn't really have that in mind. A lot of people do, but I did not. I'm not one of those ambitious souls. So I kind of tried to put it off as long as possible. I even delayed my testing as many years as I could so I could just train. Sanabo Sensei said in his book, the best people are those that just come in, train, and go home. And they don't aspire, they just keep training. So I was kind of forced into becoming a sensei. I had learned enough, and they said, now it's time for you to show others what you know. And I was like, is there any way to delay it a little longer? And that's what happened. My mentors were the ones that said, you are now becoming a sensei, and deal with it. There's no way out of it. We know you've tried to get out of it, and even Doshu was telling me it's time. And that was it. So I was basically forced into leaving my Q days and moving into the sensei world.
Wow. Okay. Cool. So look, for most folks like myself, we're here at Bangkok because we're part of the embassy. How did you end up in Bangkok?
Well, I came over from Korea to see what it was like, and my buddy in Kendo moved here first. We were like brothers in Budo, and he said, man, you gotta come over here, this is great. And they have no winter, believe me, Korean winter, and kimchi, I had enough kimchi. So I came for a visit, and I said, I'm coming back. I went home, packed everything, shipped all my stuff. Bang, I was here in 1988. I moved to Bangkok and got a job as a bar manager in Goldfingers, and that was it, 1988.
Wow.
And my age. But, and I never really left. I spent 7 years in Vietnam helping them with Aikido, but I've been here ever since, basically. So now, 25, almost 30 years. Yeah, this is where they're going to put me in the ocean, so to speak. But yeah, it's one of the best places in the world to live. Bangkok is a wonderful place. The people are great. but it's not a Budo-rich environment. It's a very shallow Budo world here.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I've been all over the country here looking for Budo masters. It's more of a playground than it is a martial art place. But they have very great Muay Thai, but it's just not a big place for judo or karate or aikido or anything. There are only a very few dojos here. Many, many more in the rest, like in the Philippines, there's hundreds of dojos. But for some reason, Thailand, a handful is it. So we're going to close it at that for now and make this part one. Bangkok Aikido. Cheers.
Cheers.